Hi everyone, I'm Marcy, and if you've been following my channel, last week I showed you how to make pickled onions. And I hope you made them because today we're going to be putting them to use in the most delicious steak tortas. Now a torta is just a Mexican sandwich, but this one is going to be exceptional. You can put anything you want in a torta, but typically you use one of two kinds of bread. One of them is a bolillo, which is what I have here. They're sort of like mini French breads, and if you want to make them homemade, I'll include a link for my recipe. These are from the store. The other type of bread is a telera, which is very similar. It's just a little whiter and rounder. But aside from this, I'm going to be using a flap steak, and then I'm going to be making an avocado salsa, and I'm going to be melting some provolone cheese. And then of course, the pickled onions are really going to shine in these tortas and just bring them to a whole other level. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm first going to whip up a creamy avocado salsa. I don't really measure any of these ingredients, so keep in mind that you can customize this to your liking. I'm putting 2 small avocados in my magic bullet. You can of course use a blender if you prefer. Then I add in some sour cream, a minced garlic clove, and a small bunch of fresh cilantro. I only use the leaves and not the stems. I season with a little salt, then squeeze in some fresh juice from half a lime, and I add a little water to first get the blender moving, then I'll decide how much more to add later. After a quick blend, then I decide to add about another ½ cup of water, just to thin out the consistency a bit, but this is a matter of personal preference. I blend until smooth, I taste for salt, and this avocado salsa is done. With the salsa made, I'll set it aside for now and get started on the steak. Again, this is flap meat. It's already thinly sliced, but I'm going to cut it into smaller pieces. And you always want to cut against the grain. Then I'm going to cook it on a griddle over high heat without using any oil. And it's important not to overcook it because it doesn't take long at all, and it's most tender cooked to medium rare. As it's cooking, I season only with salt and pepper. There's no need to get carried away on the seasonings because we're going to have tons of other flavors coming into play in these tortas. Once it's cooked to medium rare, I move it to the back of the griddle where it's set to a very low heat just so it stays warm. I'll add some slices of provolone cheese on top, then cover with the lid and let it melt. Meantime, I'm going to slice my bolillo roll and butter the insides. Then I'm going to place them on the griddle face down. But I'm going to toast the bread on both sides. This looks perfect. Now I'll take some of this steak with the cheese melted on top and place it on the bottom half of the bread. I'll drizzle on plenty of this creamy avocado salsa and add just a little more fresh cilantro. And to finish, I'll top with these amazing pickled onions. Doesn't that look fantastic? My mouth is already watering. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it in half so that I can dig in while it's still hot. Ooh, yum. Let's taste. Wow, that is seriously one of the most delicious tortas I've ever had. If you love hot sandwiches, and who doesn't, right? I highly recommend making these. Just use this as inspiration and customize it to your own liking. But whatever you do, don't forget the pickled onions. If you missed last week's recipe for pickled onions, be sure to check it out because they're not only fantastic on these tortas, they're great on everything and will take your cooking to the next level. Thanks so much for checking out this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I also invite you to follow me at Marcy Inspired on Instagram and Facebook. Until next time, blessings from my kitchen to yours.